We're Angelo and Ilsa. After the government forced our theater in Western New York to close, and with no clear view of when we'd be able to fully reopen, we moved our family into a 15-year-old shuttle bus and made it our tiny off-grid home on wheels. If you want to join us on our adventures, hop aboard by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss a thing.
Oh baby, I'm going back to Oklahoma. Oh baby, I'm leaving. Let's go live with your mama.
I gotta film it. What are you giving these kids?
Pickle popsicles.
It's so funny. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Take your backpack.
I gotta see what you guys think of them. Because if you don't like it, I know Mama's gonna like it.
There you go. They're pretty pickly.
It's pickles. It's frozen pickle juice.
Frozen pickle juice.
What do you think?
I like hey.
It's probably.
I like pickle juice, so I probably like it.
You'll probably think it tastes kind of good.
There you go.
You want me to have one? Thanks, Dad. You gonna try one? Yeah.
It just, you know what pickle juice tastes like?
Ones I've got.
Go taste pickle juice and then like, freeze it. This is like a.
These are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so pickle pops. Wait.
It's just pickle cup. Is all it have in it? Is all it have in it is pickle juice? This
Yep,
like
that's all that's in there.
It's like pickles. It just tastes like pickle juice.
That's exactly what it is.
Just called pickle juice.
That's so weird.
What do you think?
It's like frozen pickle
Don't
juice.
spit it out. Just eat it slow. You get used to it. It's good for you too.
It's just frozen pickle juice. That's all it is. Just frozen pickle juice. I like it.
You can Papa taste it too. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
water, vinegar,
So
salt, not to
this is where we are. NMT repair. They think we're good to go. That something wasn't plugged back in from last time, and hopefully we can make it home this time. And this is that's Daisy. That's Ty. Where's Kimosabi? Who's a cutie? Are you excited to go home?
Is it Kimosabi or King Wasabi?
Kimosabi.
Oh,
King,
okay.
King Wasabi.
You're calling King Wasabi.
Thank you for investigating and checking things out.
No problem.
So our experience in Oklahoma has been pleasant.
Awesome.
So thank you for doing that for
No
us.
problem at all.
He didn't eat it because it smelled like pickle juice. Look, he won't eat it. Look. Eat it. It's okay.
Dogs, we love dogs.
He doesn't eat it. See, he doesn't eat it. It tastes like. See?
Are you so happy that little siblings are getting along and being cute together? Where are we?
Look at me.
Landmark.
Whamlart
Key.
again.
Key.
We spend a lot of time in Whamlart.
A lot of time.
Where are we going? I thought we were going to the snacks and the fresh fruit. Yes, they're baby toys.
Thank you, though.
All right, let's go. Come on.
I like the kitty.
Come on, kid. You feel like life has slowed down a little bit now? Yeah. We think the bus might be fixed. They said that the connector, there was something that just wasn't reconnected, something that they worked on at the Dreadful shop in New Mexico. And so hopefully it's just that, and they reconnected it. Things seem to be working right. So we'll see. Your eye looks like it's squinched.
Come here. Come
I
down.
think he has nerve damage from being punched in the face. Let's just get that on video here. Like he keeps twitching and looks all weird.
Come here. See?
Okay.
Say hi.
Bye.
I'll say hi. Hi. Bye.
Are you crying? He's crying. Likes when they get along and they're sweet to each other. I like that too. We can be sweet to each other now. The crisis is over.
We are in Oklahoma still, about to be in Kansas. Everybody here is very, very nice.
Yeah.
There's people that you see on the street were nice. People in Walmart were friendly. An older couple asked Logie to help them get some Diet Pepsi from the back of the bottom shelf, and he did, so they gave him $1. And Kathy cheered him on, so later on the lady decided to find us in the store so she can give Kathy $1 too. I thought that was really sweet.
They were proudly carrying their dollars.
Yes, like, we earned $1. Kathy earned one for being a cheerleader. Anyway, we came here. I mean, one, we wanted to see Oklahoma, at least briefly. And also, we found a mechanic who said that he would have the parts on standby to fix our turbo. So he would have an actuator in stock, he would have the vanes disc for the turbo in stock, and he said he would even have a refurbished used turbo ready just in case we just needed to replace the whole thing.
And so we talked to him early Thursday and then arrived there on Friday. And they didn't have any of the parts, and he hadn't even ordered any of the parts. We went through everything that we did with Adrian in New Mexico. Adrian was very thorough, and he said, we've done everything, and if it doesn't run well when you leave here, this is what you need to do. And I can do it, you come back to me and I'll do it. But we really didn't feel comfortable in New Mexico, so we wanted to leave. But we know what we need to do, which is replace the main disc in the turbo. That is the thing that's left. Now, all the valves, all the connections, all the computer software that's detected any issues, it all points to the last remaining thing being the main disc. And so when we called this guy in Oklahoma, we asked him, can you just, we don't want to go through all the diagnostics, can you just do that? Like, that's what needs to be done, and we really just need to get home. And he said yes. So we went there. Of course, they wanted to do their own diagnostics, and they came up with the same stuff, the same readings that we had in New Mexico. We took a test drive after he did a couple little things. And I knew it wasn't going to work, but he had to see for himself, so it didn't work. We came back, and he said, well, let me check your EVP valve. That's the last thing Adrian did. He took it off and cleaned it. And I said, well, he cleaned it and then said it was functioning, it was in good shape, and it was fine. So he said if that wasn't what it was, then it's going to be the turbo, the vanes. Anyway, well, the guys at this shop today, they said it was, they said, oh, the EVP valve wasn't clicked in all the way, so maybe that's your problem. So they plugged it in, they took it for a drive without us, and then they came back and they said, everything's fine, all the levels are normal, turbo is just like how a factory 6.0 should be. And I was kind of in disbelief because I thought,
Welcome to Kansas. We're in Kansas, everybody. It's our 23rd state, I think. 22nd or 23rd, 24th state, maybe.
Okay, so anyway, they told us that everything was normal, and I'm skeptical of this because Adrian explained when things are reset with the computers that the turbo might work the first time, but then as soon as it's bearing any load, it's like the disc turns, gets stuck in a bad spot, and then it doesn't work after that. So I'm like, okay, maybe they thought it was working well, but I'm on the first hill we've been on right now, and I can't hold speed. I'm losing speed.
And we're in Oklahoma and Kansas. We're in the Great Plains. It's not like it's big hills either.
Right, so we're going to be fine traveling for a bit, but we're going to burn through a lot of fuel because there's no turbo assist on the engine. They said it was all better, and I think guys are really nice. They cooked us lunch. They're very friendly. I think what happened though is they said, well, we'll have to order the disc and order the turbo, and it'll probably be Monday before it gets here, which puts us staying in Oklahoma for the weekend. And Angela and I were talking kind of next to them and said, oh, do you want to film that? The sign?
Oh yeah,
You
let's
gotta do it
turn
fast.
Welcome to Kansas.
Oh, you got it.
Yes.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Okay.
So when they said it would be through the weekend, I was talking to Angelo right in front of them. They were talking to each other, the mechanics, and I said, I don't really want to wait the whole weekend out. I said, but if we find something to do in Kansas to wait while they order the parts, then we can come back when they get here. I just didn't want to stay in one place again. That whole idea sounds very scary to me. We already went through that once and it was not fun. And I'm like, well, we can keep exploring then in the meantime until the parts get there. But I was like, I just don't want to sit here for the whole weekend. So my thought is they might have heard some of that conversation and thought that I was saying, I don't want to stay the whole weekend. I want to get out of here. And maybe they thought I meant like just leave and find another mechanic in Kansas. And so I'm wondering if maybe they're like, I don't want to deal with these people. We're going to order parts and they're not going to show up. So I think they just told us that to get us to go away. That's my gut feeling about the whole thing.
I think they just, I mean, they only took it for like a 1.5 minute test drive.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're right.
And after they had reset the computer,
They had
the check
reset-
engine light was off.
Exactly.
And,
I think that they just didn't they didn't test it under enough of a load. And so, yeah, it probably did read well. And then by the time we got it, that disc turned to that spot where it gets stuck, and now it's stuck.
well,
So
they were
thought it
gone
was
for
good.
like a minute, and then
Yeah.
they came back and said, it's all good, you're all set. And I'm like, nah, we've been working on this now for over a month with multiple different mechanics. And we gave him the detailed notes from Adrian, which I hope I took a picture of because now I don't know what he did with it.
Doesn't matter. I know exactly what we need to do.
But we know what needs to be done. We just need someone who will do it. And that's why we had called them and said, will you do this? That's what we want to pay you for. So they charged us $100 for diagnostics. And we're like, dude, we already know what's wrong with it. We already know. You diagnosed it, but you didn't fix anything. We just gave you $100. Like, we figured they fed us lunch. That was super nice. So we're like, okay, so
And they
it's
spent some
$100.
time, and they did.
$100 lunch.
They did
whatever.
do that sweeping the.
They swept the
veins
veins,
and
which
stuff.
yeah,
I was hopeful
didn't
that would-
really do anything. It's still exactly the same. This isn't something you can just click a little computer button. They need to actually get in there and take something out and put something different in.
Yeah.
Like it's not just click your little computer buttons. And I'm sure that's very nice and handy for a lot of minor issues, but this is something like, you know, just like doctors. Doctors listen to your patients that know their bodies. Mechanics should listen to the car owners that know their cars. They know their vehicles. They know the feeling of the engines. People need to be given more credit. They do their research and they learn things that the mechanic doesn't know. They're just seeing just the surface of the, you know, the relationship with the vehicle. And even on our test drive, he wanted to drive, and I was like, well, you can run your computer while I'm driving. I didn't feel comfortable with him taking the car out. Just, it's our house, and then I can be able to tell him, like, oh yeah, this isn't how it's supposed to feel. I can tell it's wrong. He didn't want me to drive it, which, that's fine. Not all mechanics do that. We were probably spoiled by that in New Mexico.
Adrian was awesome.
But yeah, Adrian was a good guy.
I wish we could bring Adrian back to
I'm
Jamestown.
half tempted to like go back to him in New Mexico.
Half tempted. Other half running scared, never wanting to go back to New Mexico for the rest of my
Exactly.
life.
I think some places are just lazy. Like rebuilding a turbo is not an easy job. It's a pain in the butt. They'd probably rather just replace the whole turbo, which is like triple the cost of just cleaning it and replacing the disc. And so when we said we knew what we were talking about, and they're like, yeah, they're not going to just accept taking a new turbo, then they're like, we don't want to do that job because we can't just push our little computer button and make the problem go away. And so it feels kind of like we just were ripped off for $100 for nothing. Like we went into it telling him we've had massive diagnostics on this. We know our vehicle. This is what we're paying for. And they didn't want to do it, I don't think. I could be wrong. I just don't think I am. And I don't dislike them or anything. I'm just frustrated because we probably, you know, could have gotten a lot further today had we known they didn't want to do that job.
I was convinced that we found the right guy because when I talked to him on the phone, he says, yeah, we'll have that in stock. We'll also, just in case, we'll have an actuator in stock and and you know, all the things that I knew had been checked. I'm like, okay, so he's thinking along the same lines as the guys that we know what they're talking about. But he was thinking along the same lines. When we're past those lines, we're on to the next step. So I do still think that we might need to get this done before we can get all the way back through Missouri.
Well, we need to, but see, that's 3 days out now before anyone's going to be available.
Actually, what time is
It's
it?
after business hours on a Friday. So we're basically, for the next 3 days.
Sometimes they're open on Saturdays though.
Yeah.
We might be able to get someone to make a call if we figure out where we're going to be on Monday. We might be able to get somebody to make a call to order the part.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ideally, we'd be going home on Monday. I think
I don't wanna do
we'd
this
probably
next
be
time either,
okay driving it at this point if we're careful and we don't go up any mountains. I think we can just make it home.
I get through the Ozarks.
Yeah, that part's a little scary.
But I also like the idea of getting it done in the mountains.
So we can test it
Yep.
and see that it's actually working.
Yep.
But then if that doesn't work, the vanes for the turbo, I don't know what you do at that point. I don't know what else there is left to check. They've checked everything. That's the last thing. He did mention something about the map hose, like blowing out where it connects to the transmission.
Yeah.
There could be gunk stuck there. But I think they ran a test and saw that part that was running clear.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, we've already done these thorough diagnostics. We told them this is what's left to do. So I'm a little frustrated. I feel like we just threw $100 at them to disrespect us, basically, and say like that we don't want to trust what you're telling us. We're going to do our own diagnostics. That's fine. I mean, I guess doctors do that with patients too. They don't just believe. We had notes from the other mechanic anyway. Dorothy's House, Land of Oz.
We're in
I'm
Kansas.
slightly interested in this. So we're limping along still. Can't seem to just get this thing fixed. We also found out all of this is because the EGR delete was not done correctly. It smogged everything up and made everything dirty and clogged. And had it been capped off and done properly from the beginning, we wouldn't have had any of these problems. So unfortunately, we did the EGR to prevent problems, and the EGR delete is what caused all the problems.
Not that we don't still recommend deleting your EGR.
No, you should definitely still do that. You just need to take it to someone
Every
who
mechanic.
actually knows how to do it right.
Yep. Every mechanic we've talked to said, "Oh, good. It's good that you deleted the EGR," until they saw how it was done. They said, "Oh,
They
no,
saw
we
how
didn't
it was
do it right."
done, and they said, "Oh, that's what's causing all your issues here. That's why there's so much soot and smog. That's why our exhaust pipe caught on fire.